I'm Joanna, I'm 35 years old, and I am mum to a little girl called Freya, and she's just turned 2, and she's a real handful, as I'm sure all mums of 2-year-olds can attest. My favourite thing about being a mum, I think just her learning, just watching her grow every day is just beautiful. I'm so lucky that I get to be at home with her at the moment. Freya was 6 months old when I was diagnosed. With how advanced my cancer was at the time, I mean, we were all convinced, my family and friends, that I wouldn't even see Christmas. And when you've just had a little girl, bear in mind you've got all those new mum hormones as well. It was a really tough time, and for my family as well. I think that's one of the hardest things, is that we had no hope at that point. And Daniel and I sat down and discussed one night whether, if it was only going to be chemotherapy that may prolong my life for a few months at the risk of me feeling terrible, maybe not having any treatment at all. I'm still scared for the future. That hasn't eased any. My prognosis now is better. But even so, the fear is always there. But luckily, my life has got some really nice positives in it at the moment. So we look towards that rather than the bad side of it. And I'd like to say it was a lovely moment, but it really wasn't. It was filled with so much fear and dread and just confusion, because we were like, how has this happened? I mean, we know how it happened, but how it actually got to a point where I was carrying a child. So we did a lot of research ourselves. I joined some other ALK groups from across the world, and I actually found out in America and Europe, it's really quite common for women to be able to go on and have babies with this kind of treatment, which of course was our first sort of glimmer of hope. And then I spoke to my oncologist, who was fantastic. She was completely on board. She was amazing. It was about for us weighing up those risks, and we're a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So yeah, the fear is still there. We've had lots of extra scans to make sure baby is okay, and baby is absolutely thriving, growing just as she should at this stage of my pregnancy. And aside from the sickness, for me, I'm feeling really good. It's a really confusing time when you find out that you're able to bring another life into this world, because you remember how you felt when I was first diagnosed and I had Freya, and the thoughts of leaving her were horrendous, and then adding another baby to that mix, and you feel, there's a lot of, are we doing the right thing? Is this ethical? Is it morally right? Is it, would you bring a child into this world knowing that your life is limited? But I think we take those risks every single day, whether you have a disease or not. Having a child, not knowing what's around the corner, no one has a crystal ball. I can only go off what I know at the moment, and that's my scan results are good, and I have a great team behind me. And we don't know what the future holds, but I just know that we'll live our lives as best we can until the end, whatever that may be.